Shalom. First and foremost, only give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Wakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, your great millstone, who well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect and the 1/3 remnant out there listening and doing this work with all faith and sincerity, scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth. You want to say Shalom. More women, this video is edifying. Or this street teaching is edifying, first off. I want to go into the names, the correct names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. All right? The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God or Jehovah. His name is Yahweh. Yah meaning He, Howah meaning the is to be, or He exists, right? Existing one. And His only begotten Son's name is Yahushua. He delivers, right? He, Yah, meaning He, Yahushua meaning delivers, deliverer, salvation, right? Because that's what He's coming to bring, and the world ignorantly calls Yahushua Jesus Christ or Yeshua. All right? These are the names in which you are to call upon if you want to be saved. All right? And, you know, today is another satanic holiday, being Valentine's Day. All right? Where this devil takes full advantage of the ignorant, right? By pushing this whole notion that today is the day of love, all right? That today is the day of your significant other, when all of that is false. Okay, today is another satanic day. Okay? Through the Spirit, they're going to be sacrificing kids and having blood rituals and sex orgies on today, right? And you people are complicit with it because you go and you celebrate this day as if it is a day to celebrate, and having no clue what it actually represents. Cupid was a demon. All right? Matter of fact, I just might get into that. Come on, man. It's locking, man. My devices is hacking up. But I always got the backup. Because you got people out here who will complain and fuss about the Epstein files, and then a day like this comes up in which the global elite push and condition and program people to celebrate because it has a underlining meaning, okay? The surface level celebration of this holiday is not what they tell you it is. But by you participating in it, by you holding the same festivities, right? By you keeping these festivities, you are complicit in it. Okay? You might as well. You're just as guilty as those elites who go out and commit sacrifices on this day. And you people do that. Actually, you do. All right, a nigga go and buy his, his passed down woman flowers, okay, overpriced flowers. Flowers that are usually $10 today are $50, right? balloons and chocolate, right? Celebrating a woman, putting her on a pedestal like she's something to be celebrated, right? Because you fucking docile to all the wickedness in which she commits. All right, she has abortions. You're not her first or last man. You're not the only man she's been with. Okay? And half of the time they do it just to put it on social media to make themselves feel good about themselves. And they probably got multiple Valentines. But here it is, you're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars trying to impress a bitch. You know? That ain't gonna do shit for you. Anyway, the true meaning of Valentine's Day, right? The Roman festival Lupercalia, okay? Dedicated to, well, actually, the true day of Lupercalia is February 15th, okay? And it was held in the Roman Empire, dedicated to Faunus, a Roman fertility god. Included animal sacrifices, goats, and a dog, right? And of course, we know it's more than just goats and dogs. This nigga sacrificing, man. You know, he like to sacrifice babies, all right, and people, and he like to torture because it adds to the sacrifice, to the ritual, okay? Rituals symbolizing purification and fertility, okay? Going back to sex, which a lot of these holidays are tied back into sex, okay, by design, because sex is the epitome of carnality, okay, being hypersexualized. That's why women are held to such a high pedigree in this society. Okay? Young men would run through the city striking women lightly with strips of goat hide. Lupercalia was not a romantic love day, as they deceived you into believing. It was more about purification, fertility, and agricultural blessing. Right? Then you got Saint Valentine, the actual saint, who's a idol, Saint Valentine. Okay. And you know, because this is off ChatGPT. ChatGPT is saying that he was an actual believer in the Messiah, right? Which I don't know too much about that. All right, but I know for nowadays, okay, he's an idol. He's been made into an idol. If he was a righteous man, he's been deified into an idol, into which people now celebrate him with conflated in with Lupercalia or Lupercalia, whatever you want to say, right? And you best believe, that there are ritual sacrifices being made, as it went, or as ChatGPT mentioned. Okay, they sacrifice goats and dogs, and of course, like I said, you have to add people into that because we're talking about the devil here, man. All right, yeah, he does in secret. He does sacrifice goats and chickens and all these other things, right? There's certain practices, right, like voodoo and that forget what it's called, but it's like it's very similar to voodoo, right? Santa, something like Santa Maria, some shit like that. Whatever the fuck it is. All right, they sacrifice animals. All right, chickens, goats, rats, cats. Okay, and the higher up you get into that, okay, it goes into, you know, more sinister things, right? But this is Isaiah 47, right? Because here it is, in the height of this devil being exposed, these holidays are still being held with honor and with great magnitude. All right? If you have seen, you know, because I was in downtown LA earlier, over on, they call it the Flower District, and I'm talking about fucking packed out, people everywhere doing last second Valentine's Day shopping, right? Because these people have been perfectly conditioned. And even though all of this is happening, they're gonna revert back to their programming. And it's gonna provide temporary happiness and satisfaction, and a distraction from what's actually going on around them. Okay, with the amount of exposing that has been going on in this place, nobody should give a fuck about any of these holidays no more, man. When it's coming out that your leaders are kidnapping and trafficking men, women, children, kids, okay, got people on the island hunting them, all right? Nobody should give a fuck about that. Any of these so-called holidays and distractions, okay? The fucking Super Bowl, All-Star Weekend, but no, people are still gonna participate and follow in these things. Woo! Salakia. This wind is blowing the shit out of this camera. Try to get it a little lower. All right. Try to get it out the wind. Salakia, man. But I lost my train of thought with that. But let me get this Isaiah 47. Okay. This is Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, thou shalt be able to profit. If so, thou mayest prevail, right? Because this devil, he's gonna go harder and harder and harder with his witchcraft and with his sorcery and with his deceit, because he's trying to get people's minds off what is actually going down behind the scenes. Okay? So this devil is working overtime, so to speak. Okay? And even then, it's not working. All right? Because all I see on social media is people bashing this holiday because it's nothing but a bunch of single women It's nothing but a bunch of single women and simps who want to bring honor to this day, man. Galentimes, what the fuck is that? Right? Some new shit that's been pushed on people to keep this festivity alive. Okay, because with the decline of birth rates, with the destruction of the family, with the gender wars, this holiday is very, very hard to keep up nowadays, man. Same with all these other holidays. That's why you got Friendsgiving, right? Which wasn't a thing when I was coming up. It wasn't a Friendsgiving or a Galentine's or, people doing Christmas exchanges or Christmas gift celebrations and exchanges with, their friends and shit. Those holidays have traditionally been about or been centered around family, right? And close friends and loved ones. But now it's about materialism, okay? How many niggas can I get to send me $1,000 worth of roses, right? Or send me some money, or how many niggas are gonna wanna big me up, coming from the perspective of these women. And from the man is how can I make this woman feel like the goddess that she is, man? Okay. And another thing that's going on, right? All-Star Weekend. Okay, and the talk has been that it's getting harder and harder to keep people interested. That's why they're coming up with all these different gimmicks, right? During the All-Star Weekend, when back in the day, used to have the dunk contest, everybody used to tune in. Okay, the three-point contest, people were excited. Okay, but the city of confusion is broken down, man. Right? This is Isaiah 24 and 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, and all the merry-hearted do sigh, right? Because these same festivities, these same things ain't hitting the way they used to. All right? When you look at the entertainment world, the movies that come out now ain't even good no more. They're not interesting. That's why you got fucking AI. The talk is AI is going to be making these newer movies more and more, man, and TV shows, because they have better ideas and better creative thoughts than these people nowadays, because they've been so stripped of their creativity and imagination, okay, of their human functions, okay, because we've been living in this technocracy, right? When technology pretty much controls your life, people barely know how to spell because of fucking device tools like autocorrect, right? And Chat GPT, you don't have to know how to do anything. There is no creative functioning. Okay, now you don't have to sit back and actually draw a picture. You can just go to Chat GPT and describe what exactly you want it to do, and it's gonna do it in a lot of ways better than you could have, right? Same with these sporting events. All right, the music sucks. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth. The noise of them that rejoiceth, or that rejoice endeth. The joy of the heart ceaseth. This is I want to say right now, the Winter Games are going on, the Olympic Winter Games. This used to be, when I was a child, you know, this used to be something that was promoted and advertised in a lot of different places, on TV, on commercials, and all this other shit. You wouldn't even know that that was going on right now because of how much people don't care about it no more. Okay, the Super Bowl this year was trash, right? That's all people been talking about, how garbage it was, how the viewer ratings are low. And if they are, you know, saying that, this was a spectacular year for the Super Bowl, those are all bots, okay? Lies, all right? Trying to keep the illusion that these things are still interesting. Okay, they're not interesting no more, man. This place is dead in the water. All right? America has been stagnant for a minute now. You can pretty much date it since really COVID. All right, shit's been on it was already declining, but it's like since COVID, things have took a significant decrease, man. Okay, it dropped off hard. All right, they shall not drink wine with the strong drink. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it, right? Because you got, here it is, when these people try to distract themselves and try to make light of shit, it's like the Lord put something back in there, boom. Now this is, you know, this destroys your connotation of what this is now, right? And people are forced to have to deal and think about the truth. And the Lord is doing that a lot of ways, through his service to prophets, the men of Yahweh Shema Shai, going out there telling you about days like Valentine's Day and about the things that these elites are doing while you up here twiddling your thumbs, right? The things that are going on behind the scenes, how they're trying to implement artificial intelligence more and more and more into your life, to the point where they want to take a lot of the usefulness of people by taking their jobs, right? Stripping people of the little use that they have left, the little talents and skills and ability that they're able to exercise. They want to take that away. Okay? So people can no longer ignore these facts no more, man. It's getting harder and harder and harder to. People want to try to ignore Epstein, but every time you get on the fucking TV, that's what's being talked about. People want to ignore the hypocrisy of the government and the evil of their politicians and the ones in which they chose to rule over them, right? But it's getting harder and harder to. Okay, because here it is. They got the trials for this nigga, or not the trials, right? If they put anybody on trial, maybe one person might go to jail for what's happened, right? Just to frame and to scapegoat somebody so people to stop talking about it, all right? Maybe one person will go to jail. But we'll see. It may be nobody, all right? Here it is. They're talking about, these elite billionaires and these politicians are infested with corruption, and the things in which they're doing in secret is detestable. They're kidnapping and murdering children and trafficking kids and all this shit. But then at the same time, they got immigration enforcement and immigration customs enforcement harassing people about their citizenship under the guise of they trying to get rid of the rapists and shit. They trying to get rid of the murderers and the people that's coming to this country, bringing it down. When it came out already that your own leaders are the ones who are perpetrating these crimes, man. Okay? And that goes right over people's head. It's amazing. Okay, but that's because the spells that's been placed on you people, on the world, all right, that dark veil is thick, all right? That movie, Eyes Wide Shut. You people have your eyes wide shut. These people want to be deceived because their reality is so abstract from what their bubble is, pretty much, man. You know?
Juan, I like the poncho.
Appreciate you.
Or check me out if you like tattoos.
No, I'm good, bro. I'm preaching right now, man.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yep.
Good.
Verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man can come in. And that's what it's about to get down to. That's what it's about to come to. Martial law. Right? Not being able to leave your house. That happened in 2020, we know. Right? Not being able to travel from one place to another without proper identifications and paperwork. All right? You already have that here in the soft enforcement, right, through ICE. Because they can pull anybody over and they telling you, show your paperwork. Well, that's only gonna progress and increase. All it takes for that to happen is an event, a false flag, to where now your security is being threatened or on the line, right? We're here, okay? And this devil, he's telling you openly, all right? It's actually a part of his doctrine in Luciferianism to tell you openly what he's doing. And he does it through many different ways. Okay? This is Proverbs 6:12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. All right? And that's what he does. He walks telling of his corruption and of his wickedness. All right, unapologetically. Okay? He tells you in movies and TV shows and animations, right? But he might do it through comedic ways. He might do it in a scary movie. He might do it through science fiction, right? But the whole time, this is the truth, and this is what's going on behind the scenes. All right, how many movies, right, has he made that you look at now and you like, damn? Prime example, the movie 1984. How he had pretty much, you know, the protagonist in the movie. He was trying to sneak off and have relations with a woman because in this dystopian society, or in this Orwellian society, you weren't allowed to have relations with a woman. All right, and one of the ways they got caught was, I believe it was the mirror or the television or something. Pretty much, just normal, ordinary, simple devices had the ability to monitor what you're saying and monitor what you're doing. Well, that's now. Okay, you got this big old, got this big thing going on, right? During the Super Bowl commercial, during the Super Bowl, they had a commercial that featured the Ring camera and how the Ring camera could be used pretty much for ultimate surveillance, all right, without people's permission. How they could be logged into and the government or people with access can go and watch and monitor everything that's going on from your house. Okay? And people had a big gripe about it. But he's telling you in your face what he's doing. He's watching you. And there's nothing that you can really truly get away with in today's society. Not if he wants to find you, he can do it. Okay, because the Lord has allowed him the ability to do so. Okay? He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Right. You watch these different TED Talks and these different podcast interviews or whatnot, and if they interviewing somebody who's in the know, right? Somebody who's in the club, okay? Just watch how many code words they use and watch all the different hand gestures, Masonic hand gestures that they throw out. Okay? Because they're speaking to each other using these different avenues, right? Like the Vivica Pisces, okay? The thinking man, right? When certain information is coming out, they always pan, right? Or they show either the person who's telling the information or the person who's receiving the information is throwing some type of coded gesture, so that those who need to, or those who understand, know that it's all an inside thing, right? These things are allowed. When information comes out, it's not because it's snuck out. It's allowed to come out. This devil released these files because not because anybody wanted or anybody made him do it. It's because he wanted to do it for whatever reason. Whether that's to cause distrust, whether that's to cause a distraction for people to ignore the other things in which he's doing behind the scenes. Okay? For whatever reason, that was allowed to come out. Forwardness is in his heart. He deceiveth mischief continually. He soweth discord. This is this devil's whole MO. Divide and conquer. Rape, rob, murder. Repeat. Right? Repeat. Scripture say there is no satisfying him. Okay? Scripture say he is as death. And I'm going to get that. Right? Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Right? Because all the things in which he has gotten through improper means. Right? He ain't got nothing legitimately. Everything this devil has is illegitimate. He himself is illegitimate. The names he go by, illegitimate. Okay? Everything, man. You name it. The money he uses, the currency he uses, illegitimate. The way in which he runs the earth, illegitimate. Scriptures say that he is the son of perdition. There is none more vile or wicked than Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. And has he not shown this? Is this not obvious by now? What more does he have to do? But people are so stuck in this realm in which he's created that they can't see it. That's why they're going to continue to sleepwalk until their death. Right? And they're not going to see it until you're forced to see it. Until there is no ability to ignore it. Because there's going to be martial law troops in your face. Or there's going to be a famine. An orchestrated famine. Or there's going to be a power outage. Or there's going to be a world war. Right? Where people are going to suffer. And people are going to be dropping like flies in mass. Right? This is Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. I mean, what more do you need to say? Who else is doing this? Who else is going into sovereign countries and kidnapping presidents, bringing them back to their country to throw charges on them, and then take the country's resources and distribute them to wherever they want and do whatever they want with that nation's resources? Who else is doing that? Right? Nobody else is doing that, man. Nobody has the ability to do that. Nobody else. Right? Who else is threatening and posturing or destroying all these other countries? Right? If they choose or say anything that's out of pocket or out of line, who else is strong arming, enforcing their ways upon these different nations and peoples? For the first time in decades, Venezuela has shipped oil to Israel. Wow. Just coincidentally, right? Last month, beginning of the year, the president of Venezuela is kidnapped, and a puppet is placed in his steed. Right? Civil conflict happens, and now the next month, Venezuela is sending oil to someone who the previous administration declared an enemy, who just so happens to be an ally of America, the only ally of America. I won't even say ally, because it's one way to America's owner, right? Which goes to show you whose hand and what the purpose of that was, truly, right? It wasn't because Venezuela was sending drugs to Americans and all this other shit, and Tren de la Agua, or all these other fucking gangs in which they try to pin it on. No, it was for Israel. All right? So this devil is you're not fooling anybody. Okay? That's why the Lord, he has to intervene, because this is going to keep going and going and going and going until there is nothing else. Because the scriptures, as it read, right? He is unsatisfiable. His belly cannot be filled. But when it does get to that point, as it says in Job, when he feels like he's finally about to fill his belly, he's going to vomit it all up, because it's not his to begin with. and because he got it through improper means, right? This is Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Right. He deals unrighteous. He breaks all his covenants. He makes 360 deals. All right. He's violent. He's irrational. He can't be trusted. He's deceitful. All right. He's selfish. Here it is. This devil has a military presence in damn in 181 different countries, 160 different countries or something like that. 800 military bases around the whole world, and continuing to try to expand that. Controls all the resources, right? But yet the people are suffering. How is that? How are people suffering? Right? It doesn't make sense. Here it is, you got multi-billionaires, man. I think I was looking up, it might have been Jeff Bezos or somebody, man. This nigga makes like $8 billion a day, right? Millions of dollars an hour. It'll be nothing for him to end homelessness or poverty in America, but is he gonna do it? No, he's not gonna do it, right? Because that is not in the hearts of these devils. And then you wonder why these people have such a selfish, covetous mentality, because they take after their king and their rulers, right? They take after the one who the one who leads them. Okay? That they've learned the ways of the wicked. Right? So the Lord is going to translate this kingdom. He's going to take it from out of one hand and bring it into the next. The scriptures say Esau is Esau's heel, or Jacob held Esau's heel, right? So this kingdom, this rulership, is gonna try to like it. What? This rulership, this kingdom, is gonna transition seamlessly into the rulership, or from the rulership of Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, into the rulership of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, believe it or not. We got next. Not the fucking, not the J people, right? The small hats with the yarmulkes, right? They're already in rulership. They're not going to continue to rule. It ain't going to be the towel heads, the coolies. It ain't going to be Moab, so-called Chinese. No, the next rulers of this world are so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Crazy, right? Because we're the ones at the bottom. Okay? But we're the only ones that are going to rule this righteously, man. This is Second Ezra's, just to back up the point that I made, Second Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall the end of the first when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So when is this wicked kingdom gonna end and the kingdom of heaven gonna begin? Right. This is Ezra's asking the angel. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the beginning of the world, and Jacob, or Salaki, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's how we can say confidently, this is the end of the world. But does that mean that the world is going to end, like, literally, completely? No. But this rulership, this kingdom, is over. Okay? This rulership and this kingdom is not going to continue. All right? Because it has its allotted time that is going to rule, or that is going to be here. And after that, the Lord, because Esau was only ruling to serve out, for us to serve out a punishment anyway. So as abstract as it sounds, we should be the ones, we are the rightful rulers of this earth. All right? Because you look at Esau, he ain't doing it right. All right? In the way he shed blood, and the way he's deceived and lied his way. No, man, Esau, he has to pay for what he's done. Okay? He thinks just because he tells you what he's doing, he's not guilty. Just like Pilate, when he gave the orders to crucify the Lord, all right, he said he washed his hands and said, well, shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm clean of this. No, nigga, you're just as guilty as the wicked niggas who plotted against our Lord to bring him to you and slay him. All right? This is this is second, it's like this is Ezekiel 35 and this is Ezekiel 35 and 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right? So since you haven't hated blood, you were so quick to shed it. In the words of Christopher Columbus, Cristobal Colon, who was a small hat, and in his own words, he said he couldn't put his fucking hand, he couldn't put his sword down for an hour, drunk with the power to slay Jake. Right? Even to this very day, when has he took a break? When has he stopped? The only thing that changed, it was more blatant back in the day, but now he does it in secret. All right? First, you were a slave, and now you're free. But either way, you belong to Eve. Right? Because we live in a perfect society to where this is pretty much an open-air prison. The perfect prison. To where people don't even realize that they're in shackles and chains, man. Because it's all mental. All right? It's all mental. Verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Right. The Lord is going to completely do away and eradicate Esau. Esau is not going to receive any mercy because he has shown no mercy. All right? He's been a tyrant. He's been a bloodshedder. He's been a liar, a deceiver. He's been a sorcerer. He's been a blasphemer. He's shown every vile, wicked trait. There is none viler. Right? Thus saith the Lord. So the Lord said he's going to cut him off. Because he had a perpetual hatred. He had a perpetual bloodlust. There was no chill with him. He was all gas, no brakes. So the Lord is going to be that way with him. All right? I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. Right. And the Lord's going to do it using his own technology, his own devices, for the most part. Because we know Yahweh Shai is going to crack the heavens, crack the skies, and he's going to help it. Right? He's going to do his big one. But what's going to crack it off, what's going to kick it off is the launching of those intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right? That's what's going to start it all. That's what's going to get it going. Okay? And that's what we're waiting on. That's what we're anticipating. That's why we can't wait till he goes into Iran, man. Because we know it's going to be his end. All right? And he's going to take a lot of people down with him. All right? We know his end. And he knows his end because we tell him. Right? I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right. And the biggest reason for this devil's future planned extermination, right, is for what he did to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Lord has not forgotten, man. He didn't forget. And he's not blind to where he can't see now. Right? He sees it. But the Lord is long-suffering and he's patient. And he gave his word, and the word must be accomplished. So when this word is accomplished, best believe, man, the Lion of Judah, Yahweh Shai, is going to pounce on you, man. He's going to show you. You know, he's going to show you what it is to fuck around and find out. Since this is devil's MO now, fuck around and find out. Well, you fucked around, so you going to find out, nigga. Right? Because thou hast said these nations and these two countries shall be mine, talking about the northern and the southern kingdoms of Israel, right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? And we will possess it, whereas Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua was there. Right. So he thought that he could not only possess us and take us and slay us and do what he wanted with us, but he could put on our identity and say, he's us. Put on the small hat and dress in black, and now all of a sudden he's a Jew. But he don't keep no laws. He don't hold true to no covenant. No covenant does he uphold. Right? But he wants to claim it. Right? The biggest non-believer in the Most High is sitting up here saying he's the Most High's chosen. How about that? Well, the Lord's going to show you, man. The Lord is going to show you. He's no longer going to keep his peace with you. But instead, he's gonna what? How does the scripture say? Ah, fuck. He's gonna judge you, man. He's gonna visit you. There we go. The Lord is gonna visit you, man. Okay? And that simultaneously, he's gonna show that he's always been with us. All right? This is 1 Samuel 2, and we start at 6. Yahweh Shema Shah killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yahweh Shema Shah maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth up low and he lifteth up. So the Lord brought us low, but he's going to lift us up again. Just like he brought you, he lifted you up, and he's going to bring you low again. He gave us life, right? With this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and, you know, with his name to call on, but he took that away, essentially stripping us of the life in which we once had. All right, that's why this lifetime that we're in now, it's been all about remembering who we were. All about us being reintroduced to who we were, because that was stripped from us. Okay? But the Lord did that. Just like he's the one who gave it back to us. Okay, and the same with you. The Lord allows you to do all these things, man. There was no power that you truly had, although it may felt that way. Right? The Lord knew all of what you were going to do. Okay? And the Lord, he let you do it. Okay? And he's going to let you get all the way to a certain point before he comes and he shows you. Right? That you've been pranked. Like Adam, what's his name? I want to say Adam Kushner, or, man. The guy from Pranked, man. Out of nowhere, you know, it gets to the climax, and then the cameras come out. You've been pranked. That's similar to how Esau's gonna come out, man. This is what's gonna happen to him. He gonna hit the climax gonna be there. He gonna really think, like, damn, I'm here, last bite. Boom! It's gonna happen suddenly and instantly, as the Lord promised. Okay? Verse 8, he raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are Yahweh Shema Shah's, and he hath set the world upon them. That's right, man. The Lord is the orchestrator of all this, man. He's the one who set all this up. All right? And he's going to take us from our poorest state, all right? Very poor, destroyed even. Esau will tell you we going extinct, right? On schedule to be the first people extinct, right? According to Esau, that is. Esau's statistics and shit. But, little does he know, the Lord has another plan for us, man. The Lord's going to take us from this condition, right? Starting off with the elect, right? The first fruits. And he's going to set us all the way at the top. That's why we pray and we honor and we glorify the names Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah. Because we know that the Lord is going to send his son to do these things. Because it is promised to us. And it is promised to no other. Okay? No other was that promised to. Nobody else needs saving. All right? Everybody else is complicit with this. Everybody else has a seat at the table with Esau, right? But we don't. So the Lord is he's gonna reverse all of that. He's gonna put all these nations under us, right? And those of which that we're under now, he's gonna put them under us, and we're gonna rule, man. Believe it or not, read it and weep. Okay. He will keep the saints. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. Right? Because you can't outstrong the Lord who gives strength. Okay? The Lord is going to keep us. That's what he says. He's going to keep his saints. Okay? And he's going to show the world that he's still with us and he still loves us. And we're still his children. And he remembers us and the covenant in which was made with us through our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? And the wicked shall be in darkness, man. Since you love darkness so much, the Lord's going to put you in darkness. Okay? And then he's going to blow out your candle. And he's going to use the same ones in which you humiliated and destroyed and taunted. He's going to use the same ones, the same niggas, as you want to call it, the same niggers to destroy you, man, and to do all the things in which you imagine to you. He's gonna allow us to do it to you, man. Okay, and that's what these other camps are afraid to say. Okay, because really, you know, they're afraid of you, and they don't really believe that the Lord is going to come and do these things, but we do. All right, that's why, Lord willing, we those men, and we part of that number. We part of that the elect, the believers and faithful of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercy to the elect and the one-third remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity. And DTA, Abba, Shalom, DTN.